Hello everybody, it is Russ and I am back with Epic Pwnage News and your NFL Week 8 recap. Jumping right into it, let's get started with the Thursday night game from last week. Buffalo 24, Tampa Bay 18. Bills quarterback Josh Allen looked back to his old self in this one, finishing 31 for 40 for 324 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 unlucky interception resulting from a tipped pass. He averaged 8.1 yards per attempt, though, recorded an 81.6% adjusted completion percentage, and added 41 yards and another touchdown on 7 carries as a runner. The next game, Carolina Panthers 15, Houston Texans 13. Carolina finally finds its first win of the year as Panthers linebacker Frankie Louvu was everywhere for Carolina tonight. He finished the game with a game-high 12 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, 2 passes defended, and a sack. Huge game for him. But the interesting story here, quarterback Bryce Young was a standout player for the Panthers finally, showing what he was made of and why the Panthers drafted him first overall this year. Young finished the game 22 of 33 with 235 passing yards and 1 passing touchdown. He also made 4 big-time throws and just 1 turnover-worthy play upon first review of this game. Dallas Cowboys 43, Los Angeles Rams 20. Rams rookie wide receiver Puka Nacua was largely held in check this week on his way to only 3 receptions for 43 yards, although Cowboys rookie tight end Luke Schoonmaker recorded a 13-yard reception as he works his way back from injury. If Schoonmaker can continue to develop as a blocker and pass catcher, Dallas could have a nice 1-2 punch of young tight ends alongside second-year tight end Jake Ferguson, who added 4 receptions for 47 yards and a touchdown in this game. Cowboys make their way back, climbing their way back up in the NFC East standings. Los Angeles Rams dropping in the NFC West standings. Miami Dolphins 31, New England Patriots 17. Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa was the best player out there today with he went 30 of 45 passing for 324 passing yards, 3 passing touchdowns, and only 1 interception. He also made 2 big-time throws this game, and upon first review of this game, I only saw 2 turnover-worthy plays. Minnesota Vikings 24, Green Bay Packers 10. Now this win did come at a cost for the Vikings team for this week. Although they did win and they've been getting back on the right track, quarterback Kirk Cousins is now out for the rest of the year with a torn Achilles, same injury that has put Aaron Rodgers on the shelf in week 1. Despite that, though, Minnesota still gets the win. But the defensive spotlight here shines on Packers edge rusher Rashawn Gary, who had his most anonymous pass rushing performance of the season despite finally seeing a full workload of snaps and pass rushes. Gary rushed the passer 29 times, mostly coming against Brian O'Neill from the Vikings' right side of the offensive line. He posted a sub 5% pressure rate according to PFF's first review of the game film. Minnesota does make their way back up in the NFC North standings with this one just a little bit more. But as I said, Kirk Cousins, before he got injured, was excellent before he was injured. He went 23 of 31 passing for 274 yards and 2 touchdowns. Justin Jefferson was also excellent as well. Justin Jefferson finished the game with most of the passes caught from Kirk Cousins and a touchdown as well. So really good game for the Vikings there, but huge loss losing the quarterback Kirk Cousins. New York Jets 13, New York Giants 10. Several rookies played extensively in this game, but the most active was perhaps Giants cornerback Deonte Banks. The first rounder was targeted a massive 13 times, allowing 7 catches for 100 yards. 4 of the 7 catches Banks moved the chains, but he did not give up 2 pass. But he did have 2 pass breakups to his credit on the other side of the ledger. Philadelphia Eagles 38, Washington Commanders 31. A.J. Brown hauled in 8 receptions for 130 yards and 2 touchdowns on the day, including a remarkable one-handed catch on a back shoulder with Benjamin St. Just draped all over him. Brown's 130 receiving yards in this game made him the first wide receiver in NFL history to post 125 or more receiving yards in 6 straight games. Jacksonville Jaguars 20, Pittsburgh Steelers 10. Jacksonville's run defense continues to play like a top 5 unit with the return of interior defender Devon Hamilton just bolstering the group even further. Pittsburgh mustered just 70 yards on 18 carries and no ball carrier hit 20 rushing yards. Edge defender Josh Allen continues his torrid pace to the start of the season, adding 2 more sacks with Trayvon Walker getting home for a sack of his own as well. Both were consistently generating pressure in this game. New Orleans Saints 38, Indianapolis Colts 27. Wide receiver Josh Downs saw plenty of action again, turning 9 targets into 7 receptions for 72 yards, with offensive tackle Blake Freeland had his struggles as a run blocker and in pass protection. For the Saints, both safety Jordan Howden and defensive lineman Brian Brees had solid games, seeing significant action in the win against the Colts. Tennessee Titans 28, Atlanta Falcons 23, 2023 second-round pick Will Levis started his first NFL game with Tannehill out, and the early returns were very positive as he threw for 238 yards and 4 touchdown passes, good for a 130.5 passer rating. Levis' successful NFL debut also allowed for the reemergence of DeAndre Hopkins as a top-tier offensive weapon, as he was on the receiving end of 3 of the 4 Levis touchdown passes. Hopkins totaled 128 yards receiving, just the second time this season he's exceeding 65 receiving yards in a game. Seattle Seahawks 24, Cleveland Browns 20. Defensive spotlight here. The Seattle defense outproduced the Cleveland Browns defense in this game, just plain and simple. The Seahawks delivered 3 sacks, 2 interceptions, 6 pass breakups, and a forced fumble. Jamal Adams and Julian Love combined for a clutch interception in the 4th quarter while the team was down, with Adams batting a pass in the air for Love to pick it off. The pick kicked off the Seattle game-winning touchdown drive. The game-winning touchdown was thrown by Geno Smith and received by JSN Jackson Smith-Njigba. Cincinnati Bengals beat the San Francisco 49ers, a final score of 31-17. The Niners suffer their 3rd straight loss of the season. Cincinnati now getting back on track at 4-3 now to start the year. Bengals rookie wide receiver, though, Andre Iosivas, found pay dirt again this week with a snag near the right end line on a scramble to Joe Burrow's right. Even with a fully healthy trio at wide receiver for Cincinnati, the rookie finds his way onto the field a decent amount, including down in the red zone. Denver Broncos beat the Kansas City Chiefs 24-9. You didn't hear that wrong. Denver did beat Kansas City and stop them from scoring a touchdown. Patrick Mahomes reportedly, quote-unquote, was playing through the flu and was notably off in the game. He had multiple poor plays, and even though his receivers also let him down, he wasn't at his usual level. Mahomes averaged just 6.2 yards per attempt and was sacked 3 times. It marks the first road division loss of his career. Denver also snaps a 16-game losing streak against Kansas City with a home victory in Week 8. But Russell Wilson, though, went 12-19, 114 yards, and 3 touchdowns in this one. He was sacked 6 times, though, so Denver did have a tough time protecting Wilson, but it didn't matter as Wilson was able to will his team to a victory here. Now, for the next few games, I'm just going to give you the scores and a brief overview. Baltimore Ravens defeat the Arizona Cardinals 31-24, and the Los Angeles Chargers defeat the Chicago Bears 30-13. Detroit Lions defeat Las Vegas Raiders, a final score of 26-14 on Monday Night Football. And now I will go to the standings to give you guys an update on how the playoff picture might be looking after Week 8. And it's going to look even more interesting after Week 9, I'm sure. Starting off with the AFC East, we have Patriots in 4th at 2-6, Jets in 3rd at 4-3, Bills in 2nd at 5-3, and the Dolphins at 6-2 in 1st place. Bengals, Browns both tied at 3rd place for 4-3 in the AFC North. Steelers at 2nd place at 5-3, Ravens at 6-2. In the AFC South, Titans and Colts both at 3-5, Texans at 3-4, Jaguars at 6-2. Jaguars have a strong hold on that division at the moment. Broncos, Raiders both tied at 3-5, Chargers at 3-4, Chiefs also with a stronghold on their division, looking just like the AFC South. Chiefs are the stronghold at 6-2 as well, despite the loss to Denver. Now for the National Football Conference, starting with the NFC East, the Giants at 2-6, Commanders at 3-5, Cowboys at 5-2, Eagles at 7-1. Best record in all of football right now for the Eagles. Bears at 2-6, Packers at 2-5, Vikings at 4-4, and the Lions at 6-2. Panthers at 1-6, Buccaneers at 3-4, Saints at 4-4, Falcons at 4-4. So a tie there in the division is the only change at the moment. And in the NFC West, you have the Cardinals at 1-7, the Rams at 3-5, Niners at 5-3, and now in first place, the Seattle Seahawks at 5-2 after the win over Cleveland and the Niner loss in Cincinnati. But anyway, guys, that's it for your NFL recap of Week 8. Thank you guys so much for watching this video and tuning in. It always helps us out. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you are new, tap the bell to get our notifications on whenever we upload a new video, and I will see you guys next week for Week 9. Until then, I'll see you later.